Hello everyone, this is SK from Canadian SME Small Business Magazine, and today we are here at the Global Angel Investor Network. So today we are going to chat with investors, founders, so stay tuned. Thank you. Hello guys, we have the founder of GAIN, Taimina Chaudhary with us. Taimina, can you tell me what this event is about and what the launch is about?
So we are launching today Global Angel Investor Network. This is an angel network that we are launching out of Mississauga. Mississauga will be our headquarters. We will be investing in underrepresented founders, and what we are doing differently, that we are bringing first-time investors. We have seen a lot of people who would like to invest in startups, but they don't know how to. So we will be providing them today a platform, and also we are bringing global investors who would like to bet on Canadian startups. So this is a platform where Canadian startups will get funded by international investors or the investors who are willing to invest first time.
Okay, so you are creating a bridge to connect the first-time founders and the investors. That's very good to know. And what gap in the ecosystem led to the creation of this organization, GAIN?
So, I have been working with immigrant and underrepresented founder for so many years. And the only problem that keep coming is they are building real companies, they are generating revenue, but still they are not able to find someone who can write them an early check, even for 50K. And that's why we are bridging this gap. We are betting early on the founders who are building real companies, immigrant founders who have amazing ideas, and not only ideas, they are building real companies. So there is a gap in the ecosystem. We just learned that there is less than 1% of angel money that goes to the immigrant founders. So that's why we want to change that.
Many congratulations for today's launch. And what is your message to the founders across Canada?
So what we want to tell all the founders, we are not only training the first-time investors, we also training the founders, because sometimes founders go too early because they are not ready to get funding. And then they get disappointed that they are not getting funded. So there is a right time to go for the funding. They need to build traction, they need to create early revenue, and they then go for funding. So we are not only training the investors, we will be training the founders also, that what is the right time to go for the funding.
We have Teresa Ivanoff, the Executive Director of GAIN. So Teresa, thank you so much for joining us today. What gap in the ecosystem led to the creation of GAIN?
Founders in Canada have difficulty finding capital. It's even more so for underrepresented and immigrant founders. So we are trying to bridge that gap by, number one, activating and educating more angel investors in the ecosystem, particularly immigrant and underrepresented investors as well, but also bringing in global capital from around the world to invest in Canadian startups.
Thank you. And how is GAIN different from other traditional angel networks here in Ontario or Canada?
So one, we are trying to build a nationwide platform, one that brings in founders from nationwide as well as investors from nationwide. And we're also looking at bringing global investors in from places where we have a lot of connections. So myself in Southeast Asia, and one of our board members, Taimina, brings in investors from the Middle East.
And what is your key piece of advice, specifically, to women entrepreneurs who are just starting out and who are looking for funding support?
It's about building community. Reach out to people, I would say, because people are always willing to help. So look for networks, look for communities that are supporting specifically women or underrepresented founders. I think there's lots of them to be found, and usually people are more than happy to help.
So today we have MP Yasir Naqvi with us. So thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Yasir.
My pleasure.
I have one question to you. The first question is, how is Canada positioning itself as a global innovation leader?
Well, this is a very critical moment for Canada. As you know, the entire world is changing. The geopolitical, the geoeconomic circumstances are changing. And this is an opportunity for Canada to really rebuild our economy. And for us to do that, we need to rely on our innovators, our creators, our small businesses, our founders. And that's the work we're doing. We are trying to make sure that we are focused more on Buy Canada. We are trying to make sure that we're investing in our own innovators and creators. That is how we are going to not only grow our own economy, but be a major supplier to the rest of the world.
Right. As you rightly said, Buy Canadian is very, very important now. And interprovincial trade is also, I think the government is doing a lot to connect them. And what policies are helping startups scale internationally?
Well, so first of all, I think what we're trying to do is really making government funding directed towards Canadian companies. We want to make sure that we help really create local enterprises, local solutions for that. Government on its own has a lot of opportunity to not invest in other companies outside the world, but to invest in solutions. Just today, for example, Canada announced its defense industrial strategy. The major premise of that industry strategy is that we're going to buy 75% of defense technology right here in Canada. Imagine the billions of dollars that are going to get invested into Canadian companies, into Canadian founders.
And what made you to attend today's GAIN launch?
Well, I'm a firm believer in people. People are the most incredible natural talent we have. Canada is built by its people. We need to listen to them. We need to find ideas. As a politician, my job is to listen to those ideas so that we can put them in operation at a policy level. Well, I encourage you to please keep doing the amazing work you're doing. Keep taking the risk. Canada is a place that the world is looking at, and we have lots of opportunity, and we will be standing on your success.
My name is Maham Khalid, and I'm the founder of RevoHub, a workforce intelligence platform focused on the green grid economy.
And can you tell us what brings you here today at the GAIN launch?
Well, it's a fantastic innovation, and we need more angel investors, especially focused on immigrant founders such as myself. I'm an immigrant myself. So I think it's a great event to learn about the ecosystem, because I'm new to the entrepreneurial space, and learn about, what kind of opportunities are available to founders like us.
So hello everyone, we have Zav, the board member of GAIN, with us today. The first question to you, Mr. Zav, is why did you choose to support GAIN at the board level?
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. It's an honor to be able to serve the community. I've been a serial founder, investor myself, and we've seen over the years the gap just increases when it comes to supporting immigrant founders, founders of minority communities, just any underrepresented founder, even youth founders, because I've mentored a lot of founders over the years too, and this has been always something that it's needed, and we see value in giving back to the community here, as well as helping them bridge over to different communities, whether it's within Canada or engaging investors from outside of Canada and bring capital into the country, which I think would add tremendous value to our economic developments here.
And also, what one of the gap you're trying to close when it comes to accessing the capital for founders?
Right, absolutely. I think part of that is education, because we need to educate both investors as well as founders and help them see eye to eye. That's the easiest way to put it. And a lot of times there's a gap. So if a founder submits their pitch to a venture capital, to an investor, to an angel, and those people have certain questions or look at it from a certain lens, and the founder doesn't know, or their team members don't know, then they'll never be able to meet those requirements. So part of this work is helping both groups understand how to assess deals, how to go about making sustainable companies, not just, the 1 out of million that becomes a unicorn, but there are amazing founders that do really great work here, and they make really great companies, and there are investors who are interested in those. It's not always looking for the unicorn. So I think, it's part education, part implementation, execution, and the founders also have to bring it. They have to know what it takes, playing at the level that's required of them, especially when they take outside money and they want to have investors.
And what is your key piece of advice to Canadian startups and founders who are just starting out?
I encourage everyone to just start. Just start, get out there, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And everyone goes through this phase, especially in early stages, and don't be afraid that you might get judged or you might fail. That's actually encouraged. Get out there, get as many rejections or no's, but learn from it. Be open to learning, take in the feedback, and then, in real time, make improvements and encourage your team to do the same, and you will for sure see results and you'll get better at it.
So guys, right now we are with Jason, who is from BDC. So Jason, welcome to the GAIN launch. How are you feeling today?
So far, so good. Great to see a room full of people. I don't know if you filmed the room, but for a launch event, this is a great initial launch event.
Jason, why does inclusive investing make business sense?
Where do the ideas come from? We're in a changing world that's ever developing, and we have to get ideas from all over the place and learn new best practices from different areas. So I only see progress by taking in new information from as many sources as possible.
And Jason, what do you look for in early stage founders?
Early stage, there's a couple things. Tenacity and grit. I want to know that if you're on the other side of the table, you would go, you wouldn't give up too easily. You would go at it with all your heart and soul. The other thing is integrity. You want to make sure people do what they said they're going to do. And those are really the two key things. And some of that stuff you can't teach. It's somewhat ingrained in people. They can develop it as a habit, but the people that just naturally have it are really the ones that can shine.
Thank you so much. And what is a key piece of advice to startups and founders who are just starting out here in Canada?
First of all, get very, very clear on your vision and what it is that you want to do. Communicate that in an effective way. And then when you're talking to any investors or other people that can be helpful, try to build a relationship with them. Don't make it transactional, and you're going to find people are going to be much more helpful to you, and try to add value to them as opposed to approaching them to just take something for yourself, because people are much more receptive to provide value to you if you've provided value to them in exchange first.
Guys, we have Cynthia here at the GAIN event launch. So Cynthia, welcome to the GAIN event. How are you feeling today?
Excited and really glad to be here.
And what brings you to the GAIN launch today?
I love connecting with everybody in the ecosystem. It's never a dull moment when you come together with angels and see all the new innovation happening. So I never miss one of these.
And can you let us know more about your business?
Absolutely. I had the privilege of being on stage to talk about Coral. And Coral, we make biopolyols from canola oil. So every Canadian has been hearing about canola oil on the news. Well, we take that excess oil here in Canada and we turn it into goods for construction and manufacturing that are renewable and biodegradable.
Thank you so much. And what does angel investment mean to you as a founder?
Angels hold a special place for me because my first check in my startup came from an angel investor. When they believe in you, not only did they give you that first capital in the door, but they open the doors for you. They stay curious about what it is you're doing, and they're super connectors into the whole ecosystem as a startup. So I love connecting with angels, and I had the opportunity last year to invest my own first deal. So growing as an angel myself.
Thank you so much. What is your key piece of advice to other women entrepreneurs, who are just starting out?
The biggest thing is your founder story and your why. I think that, entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey. Connect into the ecosystem to get that support and really recognize and understand why you're doing this. I think when everything is gone and it's really dark tunnels and hard times, your why is what will help you stay resilient and, finish that mile, get to the results, push through all that mess to achieve what it is you want to achieve.
Guys, we have Raniel from Astura who supports women entrepreneurs. Can you share more details about what you do to empower women entrepreneurs?
So we created a very interesting space. It's a new concept within the GTA area, specifically at Oakville, where we invited different SMEs from different backgrounds, mainly run and owned by women, diverse from different backgrounds. And they come together, they share their experience and their products, they test the market, they create value. We support them in all ways, and it has been a successful journey from our point of inception, which was just last year. I, as an owner, would love to see how the government can support us in building this, making it bigger, trying to accommodate further more SMEs, because the better they work and the better they are operating, it improves the economy at the end, right? Yeah.
It's great to hear that you're helping women entrepreneurs from diverse background. What is your key piece of advice to women entrepreneurs who are just starting out?
Trust themselves, trust their idea, try to find an idea that will solve a problem. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So that's my main point.
So guys, we have Simran from Elantec who came here from Montreal. So Simran, welcome to the GAIN event. What did you brought here?
It's linked with Canada Startup Association. So we also work with immigrant entrepreneurs in Montreal. So there is kind of like an alignment. What we are trying to do is, like the minister mentioned, that there is a need to unify the different provinces. So we're trying to see on how we can work more better and closely with Quebec and Ontario, and then eventually in other provinces too. So a lot of immigrant entrepreneurs from our provinces have access when they come to Ontario and vice versa. And we don't duplicate the efforts, but we kind of like do things faster. So.
And can you let us know more about your organization, Elantec, what it does?
So the organization has been a local mobilizer within Montreal. Right now, we work with closely 3 different types of profiles. So we work with repeat and failed entrepreneurs, immigrant entrepreneurs, and people who have been in the industry for last 10 years plus. But our main specialty is we have been able to mobilize the whole Quebec, Canada ecosystem, being the largest and the longest grassroots organization. For last 18 years, we have been able to do this. That allows us to have 50,000 builders who went through us, 2,000 incorporations. So we work with this balance on how do we bring first-time founders to work with more senior founders and go with the speed of founders that as of now existing programs might not be able to, because they are more designed for first-time founders. So that's kind of like our main specialty.
And what is your key piece of advice to women in tech who are just starting out?
So I have been one in that particular direction too. I think there is a lot of perfectionism that comes with it, which is like, I want to know everything, and we don't kind of like go forward. And there is this lack of like, I can fail. So I would say like, enjoy the failure more. And that will, and see that not as a stopping point, but more of like, okay, faster I'm failing, more I'm kind of like growing, and more I'm having fun with that journey. So
thank you so much for sharing this.